Okay, so we're going to be doing two word problems that are going to be using the exact same strategy on all the other problems from the other pages. So on number 5, it says 12 and 4800 millimeters of medicine was separated into 4 doses, 4 millimeters each. How many doses were made? So basically what I'm going to do is I want to take this 12 and 4800ths and I'm going to divide it by 4, because if they were separated into those 4 doses, I want to know into doses of 4 milliliters, sorry, how many doses did we make? So what I can do right now is I can go back to what I knew from the first page, is I can just go ahead and divide this out. So I'm going to do 12. So I'm going to say 12 ones divided by 4. And then I'm going to add, and I'm going to actually just do 48 hundredths instead of doing like 4/10 and then 800ths. I'm just going to do 48 hundredths as my next problem that I'm going to do with this, just because if I do the 4/10 and then 800ths, I feel like it's going to be too much work. And I'm going to divide that by 4. Okay, so now I can go ahead and divide this. Well, 12 divided by 4, 12 ones divided by 4 is going to give me 3 ones. And then I'm going to add 48 hundredths divided by 4. And this is something that if I need to, I can just kind of write it up here to see. 4 goes into 4 one time, subtract 4, bring down the 8. 4 goes into 8 how many times? 2, and I'm going to subtract the 8 to get 0. Have no remainder, which is good. So that's going to give me 12 hundredths. Okay, so if I were to do this, I have 3 ones plus 12 hundredths. Well, to write that in decimal form, I'd have 3.3 and 12 hundredths. Okay, so honestly, I can't have 12 hundredths of a dose. So how many full doses did they truly made? Well, they made 3 doses. Okay, this 12 hundredths, they didn't even make even like a half a dose. So I'm going to go ahead and round that down to say that they made those 3 doses. All right, this next one, it says the price of milk in 2013 was around $3.28 a gallon. This is 8 times as much as you would have probably paid for a gallon of milk in the 1950s. So I want to know what the cost of a gallon of milk during the 1850s was. So what I'm going to do, it says to use a tape diagram to show your calculations. I could use a tape diagram, or I could use this method right up here to figure out how much it's going to be. Okay, here's kind of how your tape diagram would look. Okay, so I know that a gallon of milk right now costs $3.28. I would have to split this into 8s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. To figure out how much it would have cost in the 1950s. Okay, so this is where I'd have to take this. I'm going to go ahead and say, well, you know what? I'm going to take that 32 tenths. I'm going to do 32 tenths, divide that by 8, plus, now I've got my 8 hundredths, 8, and I ran out of room, sorry guys, hundredths, divided by 8. Okay, so now I can do 32 tenths divided by 8, that's going to be 4 tenths, plus 8 hundredths divided by 8 is going to give me 1 hundredth. And if I were to add these together, because I've got 4 tenths and 1 hundredth, to write that in decimal form, it would be 41 hundredths, or it would actually be 41 cents. So they're saying that a gallon of milk during the 1950s would only be 41 cents. Now, if I were to take this, it would be 41 cents in each of these 8 sections. And it would kind of be fun, because what you can do to check your answer is you could do 41 cents times 8 to check your answer, and you would get that $3.28, and it would work.